Alrighty. Well, I can start. Okay, everybody. Last minute setup issues. I will explain. Alrighty, just making sure everything's final setup issues are working properly. Okay, everything looks like it's running cool. Alrighty. Now, need to get the stream health so I can see if there's any issues. Okay, that's all working. That's all working. I need to mark out my new. Oh, I need to get rid of this. Easier said than done. Just a second. All right, we'll try moving this camera over a bit. That feels very close. um, I'm not sure I like this. Although there's less haze, so that's an improvement. Hold on. That's too far. I'm sure this is great content. Sorry, last minute adjustments to everything. Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes the setup isn't perfect. All right, we'll try this. This kind of works. It is more adjustable. There is a positive. All right, we'll try this. I think this works. All right. I'll try and chop all this out of the VOD if I can remember to do it. Anyone, in case I forget to just chop this out, if anyone's curious, this square is literally just there to help me calibrate my my camera. Because my camera's up here, it is extremely distorted. Um, so I'm using this to try and, make sure it looks like a square. So the proportions are right. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, we got it. Let me just mark off my new. So I messed with my position a little bit of the camera so that palette is going to be smaller, but um, you'll be slightly closer to the viewers. Will be slightly closer to the what's it called, painting. So I just have to try to mix within my new palette size. All right, there we go. That's close. I checked this area. I assumed everything else is also dry. This has been sitting for a few days now, so yeah, everything's dry. All right, let's do some palette maintenance real quick, and then I'll oil out and get started. Oh, once I have some viewers in chat, I will. There's some people I will happily show. I finished up my paintings, did some final adjustments on it. I think people might enjoy seeing that. If I don't show it or forget to, I will be posting it on online eventually. So not like you're not going to get to see it if you follow me. And in better detail. Although in better detail, but probably with glaze on top of it. Because I think I'm gonna from now on only post after running glaze on everything, which is really sad because I know most people can't tell the difference, but I don't like it, even though it's necessary. And for the record, they did a great job with it. It's just I'd rather, you know, not have to at all. All right. So for oiling out, I just use oleo gel. That's my go-to. Just grab a clean brush. So it's funny, just the slightest movement and things are slightly out of focus. I hate that. I'm on manual focus because autofocus has a tendency to go for the hand and stuff like that. All right, now I gotta see the glare. Excuse me for a second. I'm sure there are other systems of doing this, but I don't know. For me, this is literally the quickest way, given where my light source is. Oh, jeez. I might need to put out some more oil. Put oleo gel, I mean. Maybe not. All right. There we go. All right, time to evaluate things. All right. So I like to have a bit of a game plan when going into a painting. Um, Not to say that I stick to it, but it's a way for me to mentally kind of catalog things and start, um, addressing issues and, progress through it. So I'm going to try and talk through it since I'm streaming. Otherwise, I would just be going over it in my head. So things that need work on this and possibly an order in which I'm going to do it. So the faces obviously need work, but they're not going to be first. Because I think the faces are so important in general, figurative and portraiture faces are important. So, um, they need. I want to. How can I put this? I want to do the least amount of work on them I can. So I don't want to paint them and then have to repaint them to like adjust them to fit the overall scene. So what I'm going to do is leave them for later so that I can paint them appropriately. So looking at it, his hands need some work. Her hand needs work. I think his belt, need to get his belt in there clearer. Um, the dog obviously needs some work. Like a aspect to the painting here that needs just like an overall addressing. It's not like a specific aspect. It's just kind of like, a light leak type of thing happening there. Other than that, the minor thing, but there's some folds here that will help create the vertical. So that needs to be addressed. This back foot a little bit. Maybe this foot, but like if I was trying to put in all the detail and be very realistic, sure, it needs work. But if I'm, you know, taking a step back, looking at it from a distance, and or squinting, not really. So maybe I'll address it a little bit, but it's definitely not an area of concern. This needs a little bit of work. Right now it's too, I don't know what, just it's there, but it's not conveying anything. It's the bed rail. It needs to just have some aspect to like define it as a bed rail. The walls need addressing. So there's two walls here, one here and one here. That needs clearing up. I think let's see. I think it's right here. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. The pillow needs addressing. And this is a curtain. And it's not reading as a curtain right now. So it needs some work so that it reads as a curtain. I mean, generally everything kind of needs work a little bit, but those are things that like if I don't address those, I feel like everything will be lacking. Let me see where the walls. Double check the walls real quick. See. Okay, yeah, yeah, it's right here. Okay. Alrighty. And my eyes bugging me. Have to adjust that apparently. Alright. Gotta put some eye drops in. So I was thinking of starting right here and doing that, but because it's such a big, massive kind of uh edit, think I might hold off on that a little bit. I should say the reason is because I'm still warming up. So, hey, Fluff Pie, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. Oh, I hate that a lot. Um, I moved the camera a little, so now when I go to the computer, you get an odd angle. That's funny. Doing good. How's it going here? It's going well. I was just getting started. I had some issues getting started. Technical stuff. S- all it takes is a slight bump to the camera and I had to readjust everything. Um I zoomed in a little so the camera's a little close, the picture's a little larger now. So I have slightly less palette, but I had to like do a yeah, all it takes is just a little like slight nudge and it just everything's out of whack. And just to show you real quick, um, just real quick so you can understand what the camera sees and what I had, like how I adjust it. Let me show you. This is the true view of the camera. This is what the camera is actually seeing right now. So I take this and I adjust it. But because of that, every slight change is a big adjustment. So yeah. And then I was just cataloging, like mentally cataloging what I'm going to be working on today and like how I'm going to be addressing things. So yeah, I don't know. That's it. Now I'm getting started. I oiled out already. Everything was dry, so I had to oil out. So that's all done. How's your Sunday going? Yeah, yeah, it's a dog in front. It's a very blown out. In the photo reference, it's practically just like white with like ears, eyes, and a nose, and then like a little bit of a back paw, and that's it. Very Sunday's going good, very quiet and chill. Good. That's great. Yeah. Same. It's been kind of a relaxed Sunday. I didn't realize I got my weeks mixed up and I didn't realize that it was Labor Day this weekend or Labor Day weekend this weekend. So, um that's nice. I was in my head, you know, getting ready for work tomorrow. And I'm like, oh wait, I have an extra day now. The weather has been annoyingly hot, but otherwise good. I mean, I'm in Texas. It's been annoyingly hot for the last 2 months, I think. So, yeah. This is probably too dark, but I want to be able to see it, so I can always go in and adjust that later. Yay, extra day. Yeah. Yay to an extra day. Um Oh, that means I can start my stream tomorrow earlier. Oh, I just realized that. I stream on Mondays. I can start my stream a lot earlier. Usually I start it late because of work, but yeah, that's great. Awesome. That's exciting. So, all right. Well, that's cool. Um, Also next. Okay, Fluff Pie is saying something, so let's see. Trying to figure out how to use these emotes, but they're all very extreme. Yeah, the emotes in YouTube are, you know, I kind of stick with like if you scroll down or search, you can find like the more like basic ones, like the smiley faces kind of thing. I just kind of stick to those, especially on YouTube. Uh, when I'm a viewer, that ends up being like my how I approach it usually. It's there are definitely aspects to YouTube streaming that are a little rough around the edges. It, Not everything. It's definitely got some positives working in its favor, but yeah. It definitely isn't as like expressive in a way as like uh Twitch. I think I have a little bit of a bias around that too, though, I'll be honest. So, how can I put this? Because of the gamery aspect of Twitch, right? Even though there are like totally serious people both viewing and streaming, like I don't mean to take away from from it, but there's definitely like a maturity feeling to it or a lack of it in a way. I guess the same way that like, what's it called? Uh like laptops that are like you can use them for serious work. They have horsepower. That's what you want them for. But all the like flashiness of it makes it feel like, you know, less professional kind of thing. I feel that way kind of about Twitch in a way. Having said that, YouTube feels less um developed. So it's an odd uh you know, it's an odd issue, I guess. Um I do like the ease of the like playback while in a live stream. Like if you missed something, you can go back, and or if someone started, you can and you're late, you can start from the beginning and 1.5 exit and catch up and stuff like that. Like I appreciate that aspect of things too. But there are definitely a lot of things I appreciate on Twitch. Like the fact that it's just one link, like it's always the same link. That alone is, you know, a big deal. Even for viewers, like as a viewer, when I want to see someone I like on YouTube, I have to go to their channel and then go to live. You know what I mean? Like it's this like, and it's easy to miss. On Twitch, you just go straight to them and that's it. There's also a ton of features on Twitch that I wish there's not a ton, but there's one really cool thing on Twitch that I literally would stream on Twitch if it for this one feature if I had people to do it with. Um it's their like co-stream feature where you can have guests on. Yeah, I would I would stream on Twitch for that alone if I had enough people who would want to be, who would be guests and stuff like that. Oh, wow, that is way too dark. So yeah, they have this feature where you can like have people like call in and be guests on your stream. The problem is they have to be essentially streamers. They have to have like some kind of streaming setup to do that. You know, um, that's the big issue. And I'm not saying I don't have anybody who could, like Don Lee, for instance, um, you know, is something we could do, but that if it's just like one person or one thing that you're setting up in advance, um, I can do that on YouTube. I trust Don Lee. I can do a Discord call or whatever. What I want it for is more like having viewers kind of, I guess, call in so people can like just come on and talk and ask questions, but you need to be set up for it. So um it ends up not being all that practical, I guess. There's no way to do that on YouTube, unfortunately. And I can't do Discord calls or that because I don't necessarily trust people to you know, not say something they're not supposed to. Or rather, not that I don't trust them. I'm afraid that there might be one, and all it will take is like one bad actor to make uh problems, for my channel. So I don't want that. Hi, Winnie. Meow. Yeah, it's always got to be that one person. Oh, for sure. And you know, to maybe add to that in a way, like I would be worried that um some people who don't like me that much, like might try and come on eventually and make an issue. Um I've been kind of getting into it a little bit here and there on Twitter or X or whatever. Um with some people, like I've been very vocally against AI. Um, and if you're familiar with how things are right now, there are some people who are very angry if you speak against it. So there's definitely some people out there who don't like me very much. No one's done anything for the record. It's not, but I still I don't trust. So yeah, just thoughts in general. I don't know. I might figure something out. I like the idea of doing a like I like the idea of doing either a call in to ask questions type of thing or a review, art review type of thing. Um, I like that I those ideas. I would love to do that at some point. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if if it how it develops. Just the Discord calls are definitely a fun idea. Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. I might try and do something at some point. That the you know, let me put it this way. I'm not there yet, as far as like followers or numbers, so it's fine. I feel like Don or Funk would be perfect for that. Don Lee, yes. Funky would have been. Um, we had a bit of a falling out over stupid shit, if I'm being honest. Like, there's no drama worth like getting into. We just whatever. We're both being idiots, and so we probably won't. but I totally would with Don Lee. If I no need to apologize, it's not like a big public thing. It's not a big thing at all. We're just not, it's not a big deal, really. Um, there's a ton of people I would be happy to do something like that with. Even people who aren't streamers who just want to like, you know, ask questions or whatever. Like that's the thing I wish I could do easily. Like I wish like the way that we're chatting right now, right? I wish you could just you or anyone else who had a question, who wanted to ask an art question specifically, I wish you could just call in, you know, um, even if it's just on voice, like it doesn't have to be video, and you could, chat for a couple minutes, ask your question, be specific, have a bit of a back and forth. Um, I like chat. I like talking with chat, but text chat is definitely has its limitations, has its positives too. It definitely like draws out the conversation. Like something that would be very quick takes forever, which I guess is a good thing in a way sometimes. But yeah, I know what it's like being a chatter, and I know sometimes I just want to call in and be like, "Oh my God, this just I want to ask this," or "No, this is what I mean. I meant this to begin with." That type of thing. Like, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. I'd love to do something like that. So maybe a Discord thing at some point. Maybe a might do a like I don't know, trusted Discord call that's recorded, and then people can, I can post it later, but they'll give people, access. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. We'll figure it out as things continue. Guess that'll be my mindset. Any ideas are welcome. I'm not saying you have to come up with any right now, but if anything ever does come up, if anybody's watching this after the fact and they're like, "Oh, it's obvious. This is what you need to do," in the comments, you know. Some things I was thinking about, some other things I was thinking about is I was thinking about hosting an online workshop. Um, for I'll say very cheap. Um, or I don't want to say I want to get into price or anything, but very, very cheap because it would be kind of a first one, kind of getting into it, trying it out kind of thing. Um, but yeah, it's something I was thinking about. I'm not sure, like I said, I don't want to get too much in price because I was thinking maybe free, maybe very cheap, just kind of, you know, like I said, trying it out, figuring it out kind of thing. You always hear about Skillshare. Would you do something like that? Um, maybe. So the issue, the issue with Skillshare, I think Skillshare is great for the record. My issue with Skillshare is it's a so I have a hard time producing YouTube videos that are like very what's it called? Um, that are scripted, you know? So Skillshare seems even like at a higher level than what's it called? Than a YouTube video. So I'm a little hesitant about that. I think I first need to get like my YouTube videos down a little better. Also, I'm not sure that I have like something to, maybe I do. Like I'm not saying no, but I'm not positive that I have something to teach that would fall into a Skillshare like, you know, thing. Um I mean maybe it might be one of those things where it's like I'm not really at teaching anything entirely new, but it's kind of all packaged up in a way that it wasn't before type of thing. It's like there's I learned a ton about oil painting online. Um but I had to search for it. I had to definitely go looking for a lot of that stuff. So it might be one of those things where it's like taking, all the knowledge from all these different places online and packaging it up. Maybe that could be something kind of. And I think that could be actually beneficial to people, not just like a thing to sell. I for sure have a lot to share. Okay, yeah, I think so. I definitely think I have more to share in a workshop environment than I do in a class environment. Um, because of how the structure is. Um, yeah, I think so. Say someone like you who knows nothing about oil painting wants to get into it. Yeah, so that's what I was just. I'm sure part of this is the delay, but that is actually something that uh, like I learned a ton of the basics of oil painting from people online. But like I said, there's definitely a lot of searching, a lot of going to different places, and also a lot of sometimes contradicting information. So yeah, maybe packaging up all that knowledge of like how I got started, what things what things worked, what things were pitfalls that I ran into. Um, that I think could be a beneficial, like a one-stop shop for like getting started in oil paints if you want to paint this style of oil paints kind of thing. That could work. The fluff pies agree. A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I think that could be like an overall like package. 'Cause there's definitely people out there who teach all of this stuff, but like I learned a lot from like, you know, YouTube channels like Lena Danya and uh Raw Mix Paint, Mark Carter, and all this. they all, have great information, but there's definitely a fragmentation to it. Also, I do think that sometimes, I don't know, I feel like I have a very simple approach to some aspects of painting that simple on a technical level. I think that might also be appealing to some people. So yeah, um, that might be, something I do in the future. I think a workshop type of thing might be a little easier because it's a much more like I think setting up a workshop is a lot easier than scheduling a than like making out a Skillshare, uh you know teaching Skillshare, like doing writing up everything, filming everything, editing it all, like all of that seems like a lot versus like setting up a workshop where it's like online, people can call in, sign up. There's a bit of a curriculum and homework, but it's a lot, a lot more interactive. I think that might be a little easier, but yeah. True, true. That's a lot of work when you think about it. Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's amazing how much work a lot of like online, content creation is. Um, and like I've said before, I really struggle with recorded video stuff. I don't know, we'll see. I used to have a tagline on my Twitch, which was like, oh, geez, I can't even remember my own tagline now. What was it? It was something uh, like zero production effort or something like that. I can't remember. Because my Twitch was very much thrown together. Um, my whole setup at the time, and the focus is always has been and always will be the painting. So put a lot of energy into that. Not so much on the like you know like when I was on Twitch, I didn't have like a ton of emotes. I had one, but I didn't have a ton. I didn't have like a cool animated you know waiting screen or be right back screen or any of that stuff. So, but the paintings were always, I think, you know, I made an effort to film them as in the best way I could. it would be cool to get to a stage where, you know, as painting and content creating could be my main focus, as far as like work is concerned. That would be an amazing thing. Although there'll always be painting first, content creation second. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah. And the reason I say painting will always be first is because that is ultimately my goal, you know, and my focus versus like being an influencer, or, that is not the focus. Um yeah, the online stuff is, I mean, it's there to create community, it's there to meet and network with people and share art with, but um like I've seen, you know, if you're familiar with Jazza, um I'm not a fan of his anymore, unfortunately, because of the AI stuff, but his focus is definitely content creation, entertainment. Like he is an entertainer, and you know, he does art, but he's an entertainer who uses art as a tool to be an entertainer, I guess. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not trying to put that down. Just, you know, that's just something else kind of thing. Oh yeah, Jessica. Yeah, a lot of people who, I think a lot of people who are online, um, who got into art through, and are online a lot, are familiar with his stuff or are familiar with him. It just depends on what your goal is. Yeah, absolutely, I agree. It's very much what your goal is, what you like to do, and yeah, absolutely. I just didn't want it to sound like I was saying anything negatively about that aspect of things, just in case. Trying to figure out what's happening over here. Uh, let's see. Can I tell? I cannot. And this is one of the issues working from called bad reference, is you cannot sometimes you cannot tell what is happening in the reference. Okay, I think I have an idea. So leave it up to interpretation. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely up to interpretation. So, Fluffby, are you looking to get into oils? You I apologize if I'm getting you confused with someone else. You paint with watercolors? Or am I getting you mixed up? I have a horrible memory, especially for names, like names in general, but written names and stuff like that. Ah, man, I struggle with some of that sometimes. I know I know some people have been doing gouache lately. Oh, you used to draw portraits. You haven't done that for quite a while. Okay. I apologize if I was getting things confused. Been a while. Um, you used to participate in the like Friday night portrait draws, right? I know a lot of people did on Pinky's when Pinky used to do them. He did, yeah. Oh, those were fun. Oh, Fluffby, did you see the you found Pinky through Dawn? Really? That's funny. Um Honestly, Pinky was like the found most people on Twitch through Pinky. Like most of the people I know through on Twitch through Pinky. Uh Directly. Like, yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, did you see the thing with Nicholas Uribe? The draw where they did drawings of him? Um because that channel does that with other people as well. I thought you might like that. If you didn't, I will happily share links and stuff for that. Um, because I thought that was really cool. You didn't know who he was? That's fair. But no, the channel he was on. So Nicholas Uribe, fantastic painter, artist on their channel is Draw Mix Paint. Um, but he was on another channel that does like they do this regularly where they have people on and they draw them and the viewers also participate and they interview them while doing it. Yeah, yeah, I'll share. Um, just a second. Okay, here is the link to the VOD of the um yeah, that's the link to the VOD, and then from there you can also see obviously you can see their channel. It's called Draw Together. Um, okay, pulling it up real quick. Um, oh, it's Dylan and Sarah. Dylan Sarah. They're yeah, and they do this regularly, so it's pretty cool. Anyone who wants to draw along with other people, you know. Oh, you're welcome. This is starting to look more like a curtain. I'm happy. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that YouTube channel, but I'm glad Nicholas was on there so I can discover them and you know uh be a part of it too. Hey Michael, welcome. How you doing? I actually was de um I was actually debating today if I wanted to keep working on this painting or if I wanted to do a drawing of Nicholas like you know, like they did. Um, yeah, debating it. Michael, if you're not, catch you up real quick. I was just talking about Nicholas Uribe. He went on the Dylan Sarah YouTube channel. They do a draw with us or draw with me or something like that. I pinned the comment, a link to their channel. Um, I wasn't able to participate the day it was happening because I was working. Um, so I was saying like I thought about I was debating if I wanted to, you know, do the same thing, but I decided not to. It was definitely a debate I was having with myself. How are you doing, Michael? Excuse me. How are you doing? How's your Sunday going? Hey, Saman, welcome. Glad you could make it. How you doing? You're the second like. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. Michael says, "Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Hope you are well. Painting looks good. Yeah, I'm doing good. And thank you. Yeah, the paintings. I appreciate it. I'm just making my way through it. Um, you know, I don't know. Just I was kind of cataloging all the things I need to work on in the beginning. There's a lot to do. Hopefully, I can, get through it in a timely manner. It's funny, I guess it's my ADHD or something, but like after a while, I'm just like, okay, I just want to be done with this painting already and move on to the next one. And I think having multiple paintings running at the same time might be helpful to deal with that, but I'm not positive. Oh, I do have something to show you all. I haven't posted it online yet, but I finished uh the the portrait of the guy that was in profile. Yeah, pretty sure I'm done with that. I went in and added a few extra touches and stuff like that. I'll be happy to show that. Like I said, I will be posting it eventually online, but in the meantime, I can share it here. Michael says, haha, you always seem so relaxed. Oh, thanks. I mean, definitely I don't know, like ADHD is a weird thing. Um I was diagnosed with it later in life. So I didn't know I really had it until recently, and it's just a very strange thing. It's not just like being always active or something. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff there. Um, nice. You have 73 subs. It was 45 when I started streaming again. Yeah, it's really nice. I appreciate everyone who's subbed and all the viewers and all the chatters especially because honestly, there's only so much like talking to myself I can pull off. So having you all come into chat and get things going in one direction or another and everything is very, very helpful. Yeah, I will show you guys in just a second now that we have a few more people in here. I'll go grab it. It's also a good opportunity to take the gloves off for a little bit. Because I hands need a break every once in a while. Breathe. Alrighty. So, oh, it's too big. Okay, do this and focus. Good focus. There we go. So yeah, I did some extra work on it. Um, I did a little on on the eye and on the face, the hair, this shoulder, and the hand. That's mostly, oh, the hair up there too. The big thing was going in and putting in these like larger marks that are like, I guess, flatter in a way, like, but um the thing is at a distance it works, and when you get close up you get that like those brush marks and everything, which is something I really like in painting. So, at a distance this kind of blends together, but when you get up close you can see how distinct the marks are. And just trying to get that glow in there because the hands, the face, like there's all this like light and glow happening. So I was just trying to get a lot of that in there. So yeah, Let me see if I can show that. Like, get a little closer here. There we go. That sort of works. A little distorted, but yeah. So yeah. No, it's just drying. Aspects dry. Oh, thank you guys. I'm glad you like it. Glad the lighting looks good. So that's yeah. It was you know, very little uh off stream had to be done. It was just a little like minor touches. So yeah. Excuse me for a second. I will stretching my back. But I'm still here. But yeah. You know, painting and standing up. I think standing up while painting is better in general. Because it allows you to like move around, take steps back, and so on. Having said that, it is definitely hard on the body. And yet, when I've done painting sitting down, I had just so many problems. So I don't know what the answer is, other than uh, cloning a brand new body and installing, you know, my brain in that one. So science, get on that, please. Saman, you have to go. You'll watch tomorrow. Awesome. I'm streaming tomorrow as well, and I'll be a little earlier than my normal Monday night streams, by the way. So, uh, yeah, just putting that out there. I haven't figured out the time yet. I'll post about it. But have a good one. It's thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I do have this thing in case it, but I don't use it enough. I need to use it more. It's like a weird stool thing I can use to help my back, but I don't use it enough. We'll try. I really wish I could paint without using. Well, I can't, but I really wish. I don't know. I can, but I can't. I wish I could paint without the gloves on. I hate wearing the gloves while painting. You'd imagine that the sweaty hands from the gloves aren't fun. Yeah, the gloves aren't fun in overall. the sweatiness, the yeah. Um although funny enough, um in winter when it's cold, it actually helps because it helps me stay warm. So there is a benefit to it occasionally, but no, overall it's not. It's just not pleasant. And I don't, you know, you get used to it, of course. Like obviously, people can do very precise things wearing gloves. I mean, surgeons clearly do that. Um, so I can paint with them, but um, there's a feeling, a little bit of like disconnect that's a little, meh, not a fan of it. So my brush wasn't clean enough, and it keeps leaving colors I don't want there. So clean it up a bit. You're glad you don't have to deal with winter this year, huh? How do you what? I'm confused. Are you going somewhere for winter? Is that the plan? You're gonna get out of wherever you are to escape the winter? Or is it that you moved somewhere that doesn't have much of a winter? Yeah, I'm actually like you were living in the Netherlands, but you moved back home to the Caribbean, to the Caribbean. Nice. Netherlands to the Caribbean. Nice. Um heard nothing but good things about Netherlands. But yeah. Um yeah, I'm terrified of this year's winter. Summer has been bad, so I'm like, I'm terrified winter's gonna be bad too. But yeah, not much I can do about that. The Caribbean sounds, well, it sounds amazing, although I'm not sure I could deal. Sounds very sunny. I might be wrong, but in my head, that's the association I have, and I'm not kind of on the lighter side, so like sun, being out in the sun a lot. I'm not great at that, but yeah, it sounds otherwise amazing. It's always sunny. I like the sunlight, but I don't like being in the sunlight. It's a very contradictory contradictory feeling. Like I love sunlight. I don't like, stormy, or I don't like gloomy weather necessarily, but I hate being in the sun. I hate to admit it, but like when I think of the Caribbean, I can't I can't not think about like Pirates of the of the Caribbean. Like that's all that comes to my head. It's like I'm trying to think of anything else that I have associated with it, and like that's literally all my brain is pulling up at the moment. Especially compared to the gloominess of the Netherlands, it's always sunny. Yeah, I get that. You don't like being in direct sun either. You never understood people who sunbathe. I don't understand people who sunbathe. Um, I had an aunt who used to she would sunbathe, um, and she would also lather up in baby oil before sunbathing. Um, Let me just say she looked crispy, put it that way, because she looked like she was literally, frying herself, and she had that like brown, crispy look to her. Don't necessarily think that's a good look for anybody. What can I say? I'm pretty sure that's like horrible for you in nearly every aspect, in every way. Like, just a small PSA, it's probably not healthy to sunbathe lathered in baby oil. Pretty sure the skin is not supposed to be crispy. Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm also pretty sure that you're not supposed to go from like, you know, like obviously people tan, right? Uh, so, people can go from lighter, if you're a light-skinned person, you can go lighter to darker. You can tan and get a bit darker. Um, but I'm pretty sure that there's only so far you should go and it be healthy, you know what I mean? Like, um, she look, like, yeah, just it just did not look healthy. Unless you're putting yourself on the menu, your skin should be crispy. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, generally speaking, even just regular tanning isn't healthy for you. So, at least my dermatologist would definitely be against it. I can say that. My I have some family members, or I have a family member who he works. He's basically like a farmer. He works in the um agricultural field, and um yeah, he's older at this point. He's in his 70s, and obviously things have changed a lot, uh but he's had to have like all these like, skin cancer stuff cut off. He's fine. It's But all the older generate all the people in his generation who used to work with him have that issue where it's like they're constantly having these like growths that they have to remove so that it doesn't become an issue. Um, yeah, just because they didn't know or care about the sun then, they would just go out and whatever, just in the sun all the time. No sunscreen, no protection, nothing. Like maybe hats, kind of thing. Um, so yeah. Hopefully I'm muted in time so I didn't blow out your guys' ears with that. You heard nothing. Good. I'm uh I'm a loud sneezer. Um, yeah. I would feel bad for anybody listening on headphones. I remember when I was a kid, like I would hear my dad like when he sneezed, it was like, all the memes of like the dad sneeze, and it was like that. Like I would hear it from like across the house. It was so loud. And now I'm that person. Like father, yeah, I mean, definitely one of those things. I know exactly where this one came from, you know. There's no there's no questioning on that one. Like sometimes you're just like, we're not, is this from mom? Is this from dad? Or this come from, skip a generation? It's my grandparents. No, this is very, very obvious. You're a soft sneezer, but blowing your nose you can hear me across from several rooms. Yeah. Michael says, I think I'm turning into my father, LOL. Yeah, I know that feeling. I've had that feeling before. Uh, yeah. It is you know, it's a very strange feeling to have when you notice those things. I was visiting my mom and I don't live with my mom, so I don't see her as often as I'd like. So I don't, I talk to her often, but like there's nuances to being with like in the same space with someone. And there's a bunch of little things here and there that I was like, oh, I I do that too. Oh, that's I know where. Oh, jeez, that's where. Okay, I'm getting that too. I'm turning into my parents. Okay, great. And it's funny because it's like despite everything, you don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to turn into my parents. And that's not a. It's funny because it's not like something against them. It's just one of those things. Fluffy says, "That's me and and my mom." Yeah. Oh, your family used to tease you about your like blowing your nose? That's messed up, but probably not a big deal. So, as I've mentioned before, I'm working from uh not the best reference in the world. So, I'm trying to model some things that are a little blown out in the reference. I'm trying to just give them a little more form so it's a little clearer what it is, you know, I guess what it is in general. So, seeing as how tomorrow is Labor Day, anyone who has a day off, you got any plans for Labor Day? Anything special? I know not everybody, obviously. If you're not in the US, it's probably not a thing, but curious. I have to see if there, I forgot to check if, maybe Fluff Pie knows. Is there a movie night tonight? Oh, with Don Lee? Don Lee, for anyone who doesn't know, is a streamer. Um, he has a Discord, and a lot of people on Discord do like movie nights and all kinds of stuff like that. We don't have that here. Where are you, Leon? Oh, Michael, I am in Austin, Texas. Fluff Pie says, "Oh yeah, there is. Almost forgot." Nice. Okay. Don't say anything more about it. I'll check it out. But yeah, I have my own Discord. I'm not the most active on Discord. Um, I suck at being active online. But a lot of people have Discords and they do like movie nights and fun stuff like that. Michael, where are you? If you don't mind sharing. But yeah, I'm in Austin, Texas. I used to live in LA, but I moved out here in 2018 for a job. But now I work for an LA studio from Austin. You're in Scotland. Awesome. I've heard so many good things about Scotland. Um, as like a country and how like I had a friend who moved there for a while. Uh, he originally was just traveling, just like through Europe kind of thing, and he fell in love with it and ended up moving there for a couple of years. You would love to visit Texas. Cool. Yeah, Texas. Austin's a great area of Texas to visit, especially if you're a music lover, because there's like what is it, South by Southwest, a lot of music stops by here. I've never been to any of them, unfortunately, just timing wise, like things never worked out, but yeah, a lot of cool stuff does come through here. Puff Pie says I would love to visit Scotland. I would love to visit Scotland too. Although I'll be honest, I'm kind of Michael says Scotland is wet and cold most of the time. I can deal with that, for a visit kind of thing, or like a trip. I could deal with that. Um, I don't. I'd put it this way. I'd like to visit. I think I'd love the. Um, I suspect I would love the like countryside, or at least the images I've seen of the countryside that you guys have out there is very nice. Um, what if I said this? Haha, that's why I'd visit, not live there. Yeah, I feel that way too, as far as like the environment goes. I have to admit, like generally speaking, and this goes with most places, like I am not the biggest like, you know, I don't watch like travel, like programs or anything like that. So a lot of what I know of places is either from people I know directly who have gone to said places or just kind of like internet video and like culture like knowledge. So I'm sure there's a ton of like really incorrect things in my head about basically everywhere in the world. Which is, you know, it's fine. Like I think everybody has that unless they're like big into traveling or like follow a place and like really want to go to one place in particular. I do wish I could travel the world a little more. I do plan on doing that at some point. Buffy says I can't stand the cold, makes me grumpy. Yeah, my dad lives in Maryland, and I went to visit one year, uh, in November, and I stepped off the airplane, off the airplane out of the airport, and I was like, nope, I am not moving to the East Coast ever, ever, ever. It was snowing, or it had already snowed, and it was just so cold and awful. Unfortunately, Texas Austin is can be like that too. It's not often. It's kind of like exceptionally bad weather, but it does happen occasionally. We had some snowy days in the last couple of years that have been pretty bad. I'm not happy about that. I'm pretty sure it's mostly just pirate ships all tied together, right? Love pie? Because in my head, that's no, kidding. Uh, Saint Marine. That's Saint Martin. Martin or Marine? No, Martin, probably. Yeah. I'm binging Martin pronunciation. Yeah, okay, Martin. Yeah. I'm binging One Piece right now, the anime. Um and so I'm like, "Oh, it's just like this with all the different islands all spread out kind of thing." No, it's not. I'm just my head is, you know, stupid sometimes. But Fi says, I keep telling myself to go back and watch One Piece. You'll do it. How far did you get in One Piece? Looks a lovely place. Yeah. Um, I haven't looked it up, but anytime I've ever seen anything related, it's always looked fantastic, amazing. You can't remember because you had started back over. Got it. I'll be honest. You know, it they're definitely the beginning is definitely slower and harder to watch. The first like I don't know 3 to 6 seasons, something like that. All the seasons that they have on Netflix, I watched at um 1.25 the speed because I couldn't deal with it otherwise. And I would skip all the like, you know, anything that like the intros, the all of that stuff too. So here is not the most important thing in the world, but it's it's very hard to see too. But her dress is going slightly over her arm. So there's a shadow here, and there's like a sliver of it that is actually a cast shadow on her arm, but it is very tiny. But I'm trying to like put in the just a little bit of the color change there because I want it to be clear that it is a shadow on her arm that is slightly different than the shadow underneath her arm. And the reason for that is the reason that's important to me is of because I'm working off of a photo and it compresses everything so horribly. Um, I wanna I wanna try and bring some of those aspects out, even though I am actually doing a ton of compressing of values and color anyways. It's one of those things I want it to be by choice, not by photo preference. Left by says, I saw the episode of the live action. It's so much better than I thought. Made me excited, a little excited to watch it. Yeah, it. I heard it. I've heard good things about it, which is, honestly shocking. Um, so, um, yeah, I hope. Fingers crossed, it's good. I do. There was one interesting critique that I heard of it that I was curious about, which was someone was saying basically like if you've seen if you've watched One Piece before, then the live action is is good. Um, but this is Moist Critical. He was like, but I don't know how much it will like translate to people who have never seen it before. And I don't know. That I can't I have no idea. Do I use clove oil to keep your paint fresh for longer? Not yes and no. What I do what I do is I use clove oil I put some in a on like a cotton ball and I have a little airtight container and I put my whole palette inside a airtight container and I open the little cotton ball thing with the clove oil. And then when you know, when I'm not when I have my palette out, I close it so I don't have to smell it all the time. It's also, I think, not good for cats if I remember correctly. So that's another reason I keep it, closed. You've never seen it. You've never seen. Okay, yeah. I only recently started watching One Piece. Um, and I started because some people I follow online started talking about it in a way that like was they're talking about it in a different way than just like, oh, it's an anime with like, you know, fight scenes. Like it was um, they were talking about it more in a like from the politics of it and stuff like that, which gave it a lot more depth and made it more interesting to me. I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I never used to like the artwork. It gets better. Everything about the show gets better with time. I can't talk about the manga. I have never read it, so I can't say anything about that. It's good. It's got some issues. There's a lot of things I like about it. There's some things I'm not crazy about. It has a lot of filler in it, which I'm not crazy about. Um, so um things are very slow. It does have the like kind of Dragon Ball Z feel to it as far as like the fights taking forever, which is something that like what's it called? Like Full Metal Alchemist, which is one of my favorite animes, the first one and Brotherhood. They didn't suffer from that. Everything there um was kind of quick. But that one was a much more like packaged start to finish kind of thing in general. Have I ever painted any anime? I haven't. Um, I tried to paint I tried to do a painting of Diva from Overwatch in I don't want to say necessarily an anime style, but you know, cartoony kind of drawn style. Um, with yeah, it definitely has anime influence, even if not like anime. It didn't go well. That was early in my painting journey. I was still very new to oils, and yeah, I couldn't pull it off. I think I'd have a lot. I think it'd be a lot easier now for me to do that. Um, I don't know. The only issue I have with like the thought of painting an anime character in oils is that I feel like there's not much you know like I don't know how much variation and everything there would be to it. Michael says I have for my daughter. That's awesome. Did you paint it in oils or did you do something else? I'm curious. What was that experience like for you? Michelle's saying hi to everyone, by the way. Yeah, I'm can take them. I don't. I have done like, you know, comic book style and more like Western comic book style drawings. That used to be like how I drew. And I've done, digital illustrations of that. I just not so much in oils. Mixed media, watercolor than ink. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I used to do ink drawings too. I did Inktober once. That was challenging. Um, yeah, like I said, I used to be way more digital than I currently am. If you go to my website, you can actually see some like I did some digital paintings. I don't know if painting is the right word. Illustrations of like um what is it? What is his name? Some, basically some Overwatch characters. I'm blanking on their names right now. Where are your cats? I see how it is. I see. Come here for the cats. I don't know. They're all sleeping probably. None of them are in my room right now, which is uncommon. Oh, that's a Junkrat, and I did an illustration of Junkrat, and I did one of Mercy and Farah. Yeah, yeah. Cats are sleeping elsewhere. I might get them at some point, but generally, if they're not coming in here wanting attention, I won't. Partially because once you get them going, like then they want more attention. It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like make you think that I'm gonna be playing with you right now. Did you like doing anime style? Is that your go-to style of drawing or painting? So here's a thing about oil painting. Obviously, you can do this in different ways, but because usually you go usually dark to light, and one of the reasons for that is that the light paint is usually very opaque. So right here, she has these ruffles in her dress. So for me, the easiest thing to do is put in all the like a dark color for it, and then to go in a lighter color and model it how it needs to be. Exactly, fluff pie. I'm not going to disturb them and then not give them attention. Michael says, no, into portraits in oils, although you do like pen and ink. That's awesome. Have I seen your portrait work? Am I forgetting or getting confused with things? Have you shared it somehow? Uh, like I might even follow you on Instagram. I don't know. My brain sometimes does not make like the connections. So I'm just kind of I don't know. I can't remember right now. So my brain's not like bringing it up. No, never showed any. Okay. Well, if you want to, um, you can't share links here, I don't think, but sure we can figure something else out if you want. But yeah, one of the things, this is just a general, just talking in general, but thing about like something like this is that I do not want to go in and paint every every little ruffle, and I don't want to paint every like aspect of him. So, uh, kind of indicating them is definitely the approach I take for stuff like this. Where it's like, yeah, you kind of get the idea, but it's not 100% like rendering out every aspect of it. Sorry, I got very focused on doing this. Read chat in just a second. Michael says, really started oils because you think pen and ink is all about details, and oil is a bit more free to do what you want. Yeah, I can see that. I could see that being a thing. I'll say I started oils because so I tried a bunch of different mediums. But I ended up with oils because a lot of the artists I like, uh, not just like, but that I would want to, let's say there are elements of their paintings I would want to emulate, all paint in oils. And if you want your paintings to look like someone else's paintings, um, paint the way, painting in the medium they paint is a good starting point. Now, obviously, I say like or influenced by because I don't want to paint exactly like anybody else. But we as artists, I think it's most artists have influences and people that they kind of paint similar to a degree. Um, and you don't have to follow that advice, and not just you, anybody, but is there's definitely an obvious logical like sense to that, right? If a bunch of artists you like all paint in the same medium, well, there's probably a reason for that. So yeah, that was the catalyst for that. I did try a bunch of different mediums to like, because I was afraid of oils, um, and I really like oils. Like, it's not just the look. There's just the feeling of painting in oils. Like, it took a while, but once I got past the like a bit of the learning curve, like something just clicked. And now it is without a doubt my favorite medium to paint in. Yes, you are right. Same here. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't enjoy there's a lot of mediums I tried and I do not enjoy working in any of those very much. Um like I've tried acrylics. I do not enjoy acrylics at all. Like I really don't enjoy working in acrylics. And it's not just that I'm bad at it, because I am bad at it. There's more. Like when I was working in oils, I was also when I first started, I was also bad at it. But I don't know. It was easier to keep going for some reason versus acrylics just feel bad. All right, stretch break. I wish I could find them. I'll look for them at some point. I did some acrylic paintings. Now, I've done some acrylic paintings like when I was in art school, and I did them in a system that my teacher taught, which was a layering. It was a like system where you layered. Um, that produced good results. I don't. enjoy working like that, but it produced good results. Years and years later, when I tried to do um, like alla prima acrylic painting, it did not go well. And I'll try and find those paintings to share. Um, the people look like they have some kind of disease or something. Like I never finished anything because I got discouraged early on because the paint would just like dry darker and just it would go on blotchy and it's just awful. I'll see if I can find some of my old oil paintings too. Those aren't much better for the bird, but there's just something that felt slightly better in those. Just checking nothing important's happening. Yeah. Let me see. I think the oil painting I can like right now. The acrylics definitely not. Oh, wait a second. Maybe over here. Oh, here we go. Alrighty. Time for some bad oil paintings. Have a have a stack here. Let's see. This one isn't terrible, but it's not good either. It's not great. It's not terrible. This is later. This is not a like super early one. Um, hey Cody, how you doing? I'm showing off some early oil paintings I did when I was still very new to oils and really bad at it. Um, this is a statue of a cat. It's like curled up, and there I think there's like a baby cat either here or here. I can't remember where. I couldn't I couldn't get it to work. Like you can see, I just couldn't control the medium. Um, Here's another attempt at the same, literally the same thing. Couldn't get it. Um, Here's another one. Same thing. Could not get it. Just could not. And for the record, this is just so you understand, when I painted these, like I could have drawn this. I could have done it in digitally. Like I'd already had a table at Comic-Con uh at this point, right? Like I that's the in Artist Alley. Like I was invited to have a table in Artist Alley, sell my stuff. I'm saying that not like, oh, I'm a great artist, but like good enough to do a drawing of this little statue thing, but just could not control the medium at all. You can see it getting better in the last one. Yeah, yeah. It definitely took a while. And I'm sharing this so that one, because I think it's funny, but also I want people who are, new to the medium to not get discouraged just from like, you know, a few rough paintings, right? Um, so just, one of those things. Here's one where it's like kind of coming together. This is a little later. Uh, you can see it kind of starting a little. Like it's not there yet, but it's starting. There's something there, a little. Um, However, you're about to see me lose it again. Um, this was this is a painting of like a liquid bottle, a pen, and God only knows what is back there. This is, by the way, a Wacom pen, so like a thick stylus, not a regular pen. Yeah, but yeah, you can see I just could not get it to do what it needed to do, like covering the background, stuff like that. Here's a uh, here's a camera and paint tubes, right? Yeah. Oh, this is fun. This is Here's some plein air painting attempts. The ink tubes don't look bad. They look a lot worse in person. We all start somewhere. We do, Cody, and I think it's important. I'm laughing at myself because it's fine. They're bad. I know they're bad, and that's fine. Like you said, we all start somewhere, so it's all okay. This is this is a plein air attempt, plein air painting attempt. I actually took me a second to figure out which side was up. Um, this is a building, and this is the tree, and this is like a wall and steps here. Yeah, it's a mess. This is another plein air attempt. For the record, this is not some kind of statue. It's a water fountain. Um, and I think trees and a mountain. I don't know, bushes. I don't remember. It's giving abstract blue. It definitely is giving abstract blue on that other one. For sure. And here we got one that's starting. This is like it's like this building surrounded by trees. It's something, it's something there. Cody says you think it's important to show people your earlier rough work because a lot of times they don't believe you are a beginner, and they don't believe they can get where you are. Exactly. Absolutely, Cody. That's exactly why I'm showing. And here too, like this is it's starting. Like you can see, it's like you can kind of tell what you're looking at. It's a start. So, it's starting. And I agree, Cody. I agree. It is important because, like you said, we all start somewhere. I think people need to know that and see that. And, and I'm not ashamed, and I don't think any artist should be ashamed of their earlier stuff. Like that, it's just part of the process. That's just how it goes. There's nothing wrong with it. Um, I don't mind showing it all. I'm not, um, yeah, I don't have any negative feelings about them. I mean, I think they're funny. I think some of them are bad. Um, but I can laugh at it now because I've gotten better. Um, so yeah. And of course, better is such a abstract concept, right? Because it's better towards what I want. If I, if I'd wanted to, I could have taken that stage and gotten better in a totally different direction. Um, you know, and that's cool too. And the other thing too, I think is worth mentioning for people who are, wanting to get into art or early stages is one of the things I was focusing on as far as showing right now was more the control over the medium than like the skill the skills of being an artist, because those are definitely things that are connected, but there's a separation there to a degree. And so I also want people to be aware of that. You can be a really good, you know, uh, pencil drawer or charcoal, and really struggle in oils or watercolors or acrylics or whatever. Because having control of the medium is also an aspect that, you know, makes a huge difference in it. Hey, Don Lee, welcome. Don Lee says, though, if you're putting together a portfolio, it's smart to put your best foot forward by weeding out weaker pieces, having something more representative of your current skills. Oh, of course, Don Lee, of course. That is absolutely, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Yeah, that is absolutely the case, and there's a lot that goes into like making a portfolio, um, for different purposes. This was just some fun laughing at my older paintings and my older self, and laughing might not be the right word, but appreciating how much I was struggling with the medium might be the right way of putting it. Uh, so totally different thing. Totally different thing. How you doing, Don Lee? For those who don't know, Don Lee is Don Leo on Twitch. He is a streamer. He recently did a stream where he did a digital paintings or caricature, not of Nicholas Uribe based off of the draw together event he did. Cody says, I meant more like showing students definitely want to show only your best work for a portfolio. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I got what you're saying, Cody. For sure. It's worth remembering Cody teaches art. He has a school in, is it in Colorado? Or am I getting that mixed up with somewhere? I remember the name of the school was cool, but I can't remember what it is, which I know is terrible. Um, but yeah, I've seen Cody's art. He's really good. He shared his stuff online in the OPL Discord, and he's really good. And what's it called? Sure, he's also a very good teacher, just based off of the stuff we've talked about and how he approaches art. Colorado. Yes. Sparrow Arts Center. That's it. Yeah. Yes, Donley. Yes, Donley. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hmm. Okay. One of the feet is in the slightly wrong place. Yeah, Donley, I saw that time lapse you did of Nicholas Uribe. I saw it on Instagram and I literally was writing out a response. Um, but we were rushing to go somewhere and like I needed to do like two edits to to what I was writing, and I was just like, "Oh, I'll get back to it," and never did. Oh, but yeah, it was really cool. I enjoyed seeing the time lapse of it. So, Cody, I'm curious, how do you structure your art classes um at your art school? Because I've uh I've been to a bunch of different uncredited art schools before, and there's a ton of different ways that different schools structure things very differently. I've been to schools that have they'll have different classes, so it's you know, figure drawing in pencil, quick sketches, you know, drawing the head, painting the figure, painting the head, like that's kind of how they do it. And I've been to others where it's more um, there's, it's kind of like people come in and they work on their own ideas or whatever concepts they're working on, and then, you know, um, they kind of everyone builds at a different like in a to their own thing. I don't know. I've seen a bunch of different takes on it. It's just curious. Cody says I kind of compare it to a gym membership. I always like to start people with basic drawing, but because they all want to do different mediums and styles, you also trying to find out what their personal, I'm assuming it's going to continue preference or something is. Yeah. What their personal goals are, and then go from there. You teach basic lessons in all mediums if they have no experience, so they can dip their toes in. But once they settle in on a medium, uh, just do ongoing lessons with them. Okay, that's cool. Don Lee says, thanks. I worked hard to edit the video to make the time lapse less jarring, removing many of your zoom outs to see the whole image. Uh, you do it a lot. Yeah, to show a final piece along with self promo in a minute. Yeah, absolutely. Cody says, most of the time you bring them the idea for the project they want to do and you help them execute it. Wasn't it? Oh, they bring the idea of that and you help them execute it. Yeah. For the more advanced students, you like to challenge them a bit more. Sometimes we do group class do group classes in specific subjects like alla prima or anatomy. Nice. It's not a brush, fluff pie. It is a silicone, I think. I use these things a lot for like to help me get when I have like straight areas that I need, I need to get something very very straight. Um it's helpful compared to like a brush. Don Lee, I don't know if this is something that you can do on your setup, and I don't know if Krita can do this, but Photoshop has this feature. Um, you can open two windows. You can open two windows for the same file and the same image you're working on, and you can keep one zoomed like at whatever zoom you want it to be, and you can work on the other one and zoom in and out. Um, and everything you do shows up in the other one, but uh, it's not like there's no zooming in and out. I don't know that you see the strokes happen or if they just like appear. That I don't know. I don't know if Krita can do that, so I'm not sure. So the silicone thing acts a bit like a palette knife, only more flexible. Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like between a brush and a palette knife. It's definitely flexible. Um, it's kind of an in between. It can also wipe uh paint off, so it's you know, got to be kind of careful with it to a degree. But yeah, very very useful for certain things. It's really good for getting texture too. Like if I wanted to like paint in the background with it, I'd get a ton of different kinds of textures. And yeah, I wish I could paint. I've said this before. I wish I could paint without paintbrushes. Like I wish I could replace all my paintbrushes with something else. I can't. There's kind of nothing quite like a paintbrush for certain things, but yeah. Donley says, "Oh yeah, I'm familiar with the second window thing in Photoshop. Great idea. Since I only have one monitor at the moment, I have limited monitor real estate. Part of that is usually reserved for chat on your reference. I get that. I get that. It's not a perfect solution. Although, hold on. Um, there might be a solution to that. Just FYI, um, because you can choose what window OBS is viewing, you could theoretically have it full screen in the background, and then have your other windows on top of it, and still, um, you know, OBS could see it. Maybe it possibly it might not work technically, functionally, but maybe. I don't know. Cody says you just wouldn't like. Oh, I could paint without brushes. I just wouldn't like it. Yes, absolutely, you are correct. Uh, yes, I just wouldn't get the look I wanted out of anything. So, you know. Hold on a second. What? That'd be great. Yeah, Donley. I don't know that it would, you know, I don't know that it will be a working solution, but it is, there might be something there. Yeah, I've seen some amazing artists who do amazing paintings without brushes. Like, there's this guy I saw on Portrait Artist of the Year. He did portraits with palette knives, just palette knife work. It's very impressive. I did I didn't like the look necessarily, but style is, partially a taste thing. Like either you like it or you don't, kind of thing. But yeah, I was impressed that he could do anything at all. Because I kind of understand people. I understand like what's it called? Landscapes with like palette knives, but portraits, jeez, that's a whole other thing. David Shevitz, you think that's how? You think he uses primarily palette knives? I don't think so. Are you sure? He has videos. You could find out. Like you could watch his videos. I was not. That wasn't the impression I got. And yeah, David, I like his work. David Shevitz, I like his work a lot. Uh, he he's done some really cool. He does a lot of really cool. There's a lot of like still lives and city stuff, but I do really appreciate his portrait work actually, or his figurative work. His stuff is very chunky, but let's see. you don't know if he has changed it in the last 3 years since he originally on Instagram, but uh, he for sure uses palette knives a lot. He has videos of it. Okay. No, then yeah, he does. Yeah, his stuff's very like, um, chunky and textured. Um, so I could see that. But yeah, I've never seen videos of him painting. Even though I follow him on Instagram, I've never seen anything of him actually working. So one thing I'm going to mention real quick is, you know, way you holding a brush, the way you hold a brush, like, they teach certain people teach how to hold a brush in different ways. And one of the things is it's usually like I've heard a lot of people, they'll say like hold it from the back end or the tip in like your kind of fencing kind of style, like stand at a distance and all that. All that is great advice for certain stages, for sure. Um, but when I start getting into the details, I start getting, holding it closer and closer to the tip. Um, I do a lot of the pencil holds for a lot of it, but one thing I've noticed is for small paintings specifically, I can put my pinky down and use it as a stabilizer. So I end up holding it a lot closer so I can stabilize myself and get in there kind of thing. Cody says I sent you a Discord link on you for a YouTube link on Discord. For sure he uses both brushes and knives. In a quick preview he sent, it looks like he starts with a brush real early and then does the rest with a knife. I think, yeah, I could see that. I bet his figures though he does a little more with the brush because unless I'm mistaken, I remember like uh he has some figure paintings where like the the faces specifically are smooth or not as choppy as his as his palette knife work is. So I'm assuming. Cody, you're saying you could see that? Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's probably the case. But yeah, his work's really good. I like his stuff. Um it's very stylized and thing. I never bought any of his lessons. He sells I know he sells some lessons online. I've never bought any of them. Not that they seemed bad or anything. It just I don't know. But thank you very much, Cody. I will definitely take a look at that later. Absolutely. It feels almost like a Bob Ross situation to me. If you took his lessons, you would just do paintings like him. I mean, but he already does them better. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I could see potentially that. He definitely it's very specific. It's what yeah, it's one of those things that is very, very specific. You know, he paints how he paints, and it's and I'm sure um like I'm sure the techniques that he uses also you know are very much in service of painting the way he paints, which doesn't apply to all painting styles. Because like my techniques, the stuff I do, you could do the exact like if you know exactly what I do, all the techniques I do, and you could apply them um completely differently and come out with paintings that looked just absolutely nothing like what I'm painting. Because almost nothing I do I think is like technique specific. I mean, that's the thing about Bob Ross, right? Like, I'm so glad, like, I'm happy for anybody who gets more people into art and painting. Having said that, um, his techniques are very limited to, you know, to what he does. Gotta take my leave now, Fluff Pie. No problem. Thank you so much for hanging out for so long. I appreciate the company. Bye. Have a great Sunday. Oh, Donley, I'm definitely going to try and make it to movie night tonight. I might end up painting during movie night, but that's fine with me personally. I will say this, I saw the documentary on Bob Ross. It was very interesting. Uh, I don't um no one's, no one's perfect, all that stuff aside. But oh man, they screwed him over in like the the current Bob Ross organization or owners, like, oh my God, they suck. I would not support anything Bob Ross related, uh, like directly, you know. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Yeah, Cody, I agree. They did that man wrong, and his kids. There's so many stories of like artists getting screwed over, in comics, in all these, you know, different things in life. Like it's happened a lot. Uh, so I really appreciate stories of artists screwing over other people who aren't uh, non-artists. Like that guy who did the that artwork of the money, but he just took the money instead and returned a blank canvas. Uh, I appreciate that. You were fired up after learning about that stuff in the documentary, Dunley? Yeah. Cody, oh, you haven't heard of this? Okay, so um, I'm going to get some of the facts wrong because I don't have the best memory. But there's this artist. He does conceptual work, um, and he had an art piece that was like he had done years ago, where he had like I think he glued um, like a certain amount of money, like this isn't dollars, this is in Europe, I think, but or or yeah, I don't remember. He glued the money to a canvas and did a artwork with it that way. And so a museum commissioned him to do another piece very much like that. So he said it would be, a certain amount of money and so on. And they, agreed, they commissioned it, and he returned, he sent in the canvases without, just blank, nothing on them. Um, and I can't remember what he titled it, but the title is kind of like explains it to a degree. Um, and they so they're suing him over it, right? But they're also displaying it for the exhibition. Well, no, okay, wait. I think they're not suing him. They're debating suing him because they're also presenting the exhibition that it's a part of, and it's been very, very popular because it was in the news. So they're actually making more money than they normally do because of the extra foot traffic. So did he actually like fail to produce an artwork or not? It's debatable. Not exactly what they wanted, but they're still getting people in. I'll try and find it. I'm trying to remember what he named it. But it's very funny, and I'm just like, you go, man. You just get get paid, right? Like, just do it. And like I said, it's even debatable if they can even complain because, you know, they're getting foot traffic, so more than normal because of it. So, you know, and it has a ton of like social and economic commentary built in to it because of everything. So it's like, it's kind of cool. Oh, Cody, by the way, I adjusted the camera a bit. I don't know, like I tried to get it a little closer to the painting. I don't know if you can tell or not, if it's any different, but I gave it a shot. Cody says, part of me feels like it's still kind of messed up because he is going back on his word, but with how well it's working out for the museum, it feels like a net positive. Yes, absolutely. Donnelly says, however, doing that probably burnt bridges for not only that museum, but other museums if they were ever considering the artist's work. Maybe. It's, it, maybe. Who knows? It's one of, it's an interesting, it's definitely an interesting thing to like debate or go through, you know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How many times does that prank work? Oh, for sure. And I can't imagine it working, you know, again ever in the near future, for sure. It's definitely got a, you know, uh you can only do this type of thing so many times. But I mean, a lot of art is like that, right? Like I mean, even like, people are familiar with Banksy. Um, the shredded painting that he did, like okay, cool, but like that's a one-time thing, right? It's now more valuable because it was shredded, by the way. Um, just an FYI, like it's definitely more valuable because of that. Cody says, I can tell it's a little clearer. You're still on your phone, so probably not going to get ultra crisp, but better for sure. I don't Cody, on your phone, if you I don't know if I think you have to be a YouTube premium subscriber, I think. I'm not sure. Um, you can actually zoom in um, past the what's it called? Um, like you can just pinch in to as far as you want almost. You'll miss seeing all of this, but yeah, you can definitely get closer. Ah, didn't work. Okay. Maybe it only works on you know what? Maybe it only works on recorded things. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can check actually. Wait, let me check. I don't mind taking a short break. Let's see. Um, well, yeah, yeah. If you don't have premium, it might not work at all. Okay, yeah, you can totally. I can totally do it. So, is it out of focus though? Let's see. Yeah, it's slightly out of focus. Man, that part sucks. Trying to keep it in focus. I mean. it's your cheapness. You almost never pay for an upgrade version, of what you can do for free. I feel that. I trying to remember why I don't like the ads, so I'm happy to pay to not have the ads. I also um I like the fact that I can like listen to YouTube, watch or listen to YouTube without the screen off and stuff like that. I don't know, just a bunch of different little features that I like. Oh, and I think it includes YouTube Music, so it's like all together. I don't pay for Spotify. I don't use Spotify, so I use YouTube Music instead. Oh, really, Donley? That's cool. I don't know. I thought that was a specific feature, but maybe it's not. I don't know. But that's cool. I'm glad. Just a heads up, guys. I can tell uh I'm starting to fade. I'm gonna be I wanted to go for longer, but I'm definitely gonna have to like I don't know, another 20, 30 minutes maybe. I don't know that I can pull off another like hour, put it that way. Hey Catherine, welcome. You only saw the notification now? It's bedtime, so you won't be here for long? No worries. I'm glad you made it. Um, yeah, welcome. Um, tomorrow I'll be streaming. Let's see. No, it'll be past bedtime for you. Sorry. I'm streaming a little early tomorrow, but I haven't quite figured out the time yet. I don't have my it's not a work day. It's Labor Day tomorrow, so I don't have to work. So I'll stream a little earlier than normal, but I haven't figured out when exactly because I only recently realized it was Labor Day weekend. I totally forgot it was, so I thought I had work tomorrow. Had a big family meeting today. Only just got home. Hopefully, it was a good family meeting. Family meetings can be, you know, fantastic or not. Kind of depends. All right, so because I'm feeling a little tired right now, I'm not going to try and tackle the face at all. I'm there's vertical folds here that are going to help this feel like the edge of the bed and bringing it down. Yes, it was fine to see everyone again. Oh, that's great. I mean, like I said, family get-togethers can be fantastic. Um, you know, I like it. I talked about recently visiting my mom and my family, and it was so good. It was one of those things where it's like I wish I could do this. You know, I would every not well, I don't know if every week, but often. I would I would do family dinners often if I could, like monthly or bi-weekly or something like that. Or they could be catastrophes. Glad yours was good. Oh yeah, they can be really bad. My painting is showing much more detail now. Colors, they didn't change. Yeah, no, the colors didn't change. But yeah, I'm just slowly building it up and going through it. Hey, Carla, welcome. Each time you see, uh, each time you see me painting, I'm drawn to it even more. Oh, thank you so much, Carla. I appreciate that. Oh, Catherine, before you go, I have something to show you. I think you were here for this painting, so I wanted to show you, and Carla too. I uh, I put the finishing touches on this one. Carla says, Donley, I really liked your Nicholas Uribe portrait. Yeah, he did a great job with it. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Catherine. I just wanted to show, like, um, I put in some detail in the face and the eye, some of the glow in the hair and in the hand. And then I put in some chunky brush marks in here, just to add a little. Yeah. Oh, Cody, yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm glad you get. I can share it. I'm glad you like it, everyone. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. I was just putting in those like final. It's kind of hard for me to show on this, but you can see like some of the chunkier marks. Um, I add to it. But yeah, Donnelly really not did a great job with that. With that portrait, he did it as a caricature for anyone who's listening. Really good. Donnelly says the subsurface glow with the light through the nose comes across really well. Thank you, Donnelly. I appreciate that. Uh, that was definitely like a focus, so I appreciate that. Yeah, I wanted to getting glow in painting, um, because in traditional art versus digital art is a little harder because you don't have the you can't layer and just set something to glow, and um it doesn't, the paint doesn't emit light like screens do. So it's definitely slightly more one of those things that is a little more challenging. um so I appreciate the compliment. It means a lot. Cody saying that he likes the stylized version that Conley did, exaggerated features. Yeah, he did, and that he's following him. Yeah, absolutely. Donnelly did a great job with that. He has some other portraits that he's done on stream before that are a lot of fun. He does the same kind of like exaggeration and stuff. It's a lot of fun. And he did a Spider Cat recently. That was cute. Hi, Tristan. Hi, baby boy. Oh, we might have to call. I might have to bring Dresden up, and then that might be kind of the end of things. We'll see. Well, Donley, I don't mean that you did caricatures necessarily, like with all your portraits, but like you've done how can I put this? Even the ones that aren't caricatures, you put a lot of like feeling into their expression. Like oh, what's her name? I'm blanking on her name right now. She did the coffee stuff. You did a portrait of her for her coffee brand. Esden. Hi, Dresden. Hi, Fluffy boy. Ah, he's so fluffy. Oh yeah, he's perfect. Yes, Dresden. Oh, now he wants to go. Dresden is so cute, but he likes to play. He is very playful, and stuff is happening in the other room. So he desperately wants to go see what's happening in the other room. Dresden, you want to go see what's happening, but you're enjoying this too, huh? Okay, I'll let you. Ah, Carla says he's so fluffy sweet, and again, I want to hold him. I totally understand that. Wait, Catherine, I don't think I saw yours. Um, the portrait of Nicholas Roubaix. Did I? Did you share it in the did you share it in the Discord? Am I getting things confused? Preston, you wanted to go. Now you're not going? Okay. If you're not going to go, then you can stay here. I wish I could paint with him in my arms like this. Look at his little teethies. His teeth always stick out. It's so funny. His little fangs are always out. Oh no, you don't. Can't attack my lamp. No attacking the light bulb. You didn't post on Discord, only on Instagram. Tristan doesn't realize we all see him. No, he doesn't. I think it's funny. There's there's a few streamers I follow, and they have animals, and they'll like show their animals on stream. And these are like big name streamers, and I think it's funny that like, you know, these animals have fans of their own now, right? Like hundreds of fans, and they have no clue. Like they're just oblivious to the concept at all completely. So yeah. Oh, I am fading. I thought I could keep going for another like 20 minutes, but I am losing. Uh, yeah, I'm just fading. It's tough to stream, and I mean painting is hard anyways. But also trying to like, um, you know, get my attention, have my attention on both painting um and chat, I think is definitely a little on the draining side. So I'm going to be ending early today, earlier than I wanted, but I will be painting tomorrow as well. Uh, and I can go for longer than like 2 hours tomorrow. Since I'm not working, I'm going to start earlier too. So yeah, you can imagine that it is exhausting. Yeah, it is. It's a bit draining for sure. I do enjoy it though very much. I really enjoy um chat draining. How dare you? No, I think it's probably mostly my you know, reading while while painting, I think is probably the biggest part of it. Like if we were all in voice chat, Donley says LOL, just kidding, totally understand. No, I know that you understand, but I definitely think reading is a big part of it, because that tires me out anyways, because of the dyslexia and stuff. And then talking, just that is definitely something I remember getting better at over time. Like as I streamed more, I could definitely go for longer and longer because I could talk for longer. Like I can feel my voice right now just being tired. So, but it gets stronger over time. So it's, not a big deal. Either way, it's not a big deal. But lunch is calling my name, so I'm gonna be ending it now, and I will be streaming tomorrow. I will set up a notification and a scheduled stream type of thing. Yeah. So I'm gonna call it for today. Um, and hope everyone has a great Sunday. And if you have a Labor Day weekend, and I will see you tomorrow or whenever. All right, everybody. Have a good one.